Welcome back to our channel, soap fans. Today, an absolutely beautiful day to dive headfirst into the chaotic, mind-bending drama of our favorite daytime soap. Grab your coffee, settle in, and get ready, because we have a massive, game-changing theory to discuss today that could literally rewrite the entire history of the Forrester family. Let's just jump right into the absolute madness that is currently unfolding in the skies above Los Angeles. If you have been keeping up with the latest episodes, you know exactly what kind of heart-stopping, jaw-dropping cliffhanger we are dealing with right now. Finn Finnegan has finally boarded his commercial flight to Monaco. He is settled in his seat, the engines are humming, and he makes a deeply romantic phone call to his wife, Steffy Forrester. They are reminiscing about their miraculous reunion at the church in Monaco back in 2022. You guys remember that, right? That iconic, sweeping cinematic moment when Steffy, who thought the love of her life was dead and buried, heard the church bells ringing and turned around to see Finn standing there. It was pure magic. They are hoping to recapture that exact same magic on this trip. But just as the pilot comes over the intercom to announce their departure, our screens deliver the ultimate jump scare. Suddenly, sliding into the empty seat right next to Finn is none other than his psychotic, nine-lived biological mother, Sheila Carter. Are you kidding me? You can literally see the blood drain from Finn's face. He is absolutely paralyzed with a mixture of shock and fury. He demands to know what she is doing there and tells her point blank to get off the plane immediately. But here is the kicker, folks. Sheila doesn't flinch. She doesn't panic. With that signature, chilling smirk on her face, she simply reaches over, grabs Finn's hand, and confidently assures him that everything is going to be just fine. She actually has the audacity to declare that this is going to be the best family trip ever. I honestly want to scream at my television whenever Finn interacts with this woman. Let's be real for a second. Why on earth didn't Finn just hit the flight attendant call button? Why didn't he stand up and cause a massive scene? He is a doctor, for crying out loud. He could have easily alerted the crew that a known criminal and stalker was harassing him, and they would have dragged Sheila off that plane in handcuffs before the landing gear even retracted. But no, Finn is weak when it comes to Sheila. He always has been. He is completely incapable of setting a hard, impenetrable boundary with his abuser. Instead, he tries to negotiate with a terrorist, offering to keep her presence a secret from Steffy if she promises to fly right back home once they land. What an absolute joke. We all know Sheila has zero intention of getting back on a plane. She is going to Monaco to force a confrontation, and Finn is practically rolling out the red carpet for her by keeping his mouth shut. And we have to take a moment to talk about how Sheila even got on this flight. It all traces back to Li Finnegan's catastrophic blunder. Li, who actually survived a fiery car crash caused by Sheila, was trying to do Finn a favor by booking his delayed flight. But she got called away and carelessly left the hospital laptop wide open with Finn's entire itinerary flashing on the screen. Sheila simply waltzed in, saw the details, and booked the seat right next to him. It is absolutely infuriating how easily these characters hand Sheila the keys to their own destruction. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away in the stunning, sun-drenched paradise of Monte Carlo, Steffy is living in a state of blissful ignorance. She is looking out at the gorgeous Mediterranean Sea, feeling optimistic, productive, and deeply in love. She expects to meet her handsome husband at the historic church to celebrate their survival and their unbreakable bond. She has absolutely no idea that a dark, suffocating storm cloud is flying directly toward her. Steffy has every right to despise Sheila. This is the woman who shot her point blank in a dirty alleyway, shot Finn, and left him to bleed out, and has systematically terrorized her family for decades. Steffy's trauma is so deeply rooted that the mere mention of Sheila's name sends her into a panic. But this is where our massive, mind-blowing theory comes into play. What if this disastrous trip to Monaco doesn't end in a bloody murder attempt, but rather an ultimate, shocking sacrifice? We have been analyzing the writers' patterns, and we know they love to flip the script when we least expect it. So, let's theorize. What happens when Finn and Sheila finally land in Monaco? Imagine the scene. Steffy is waiting near the cliffs of Monaco, perhaps taking a walk along those treacherous, winding coastal roads overlooking the jagged rocks and the crashing ocean below. She is waiting for Finn. But instead of seeing her husband walking toward her, she sees the devil herself. Sheila Carter emerges from the shadows. The confrontation that follows would be absolutely explosive. Steffy would lose her mind, screaming, panicking, realizing that Finn once again failed to protect her. She would likely try to run, or the argument would escalate into a physical struggle. Now, picture this plot twist of the century. During the chaotic screaming match, a terrible accident occurs. Maybe the ground gives way, or a reckless driver swerves around the tight cliffside corner, forcing Steffy to jump out of the way. Steffy loses her footing. She slips over the edge of the cliff, dangling perilously over the deadly, churning waters of the Mediterranean Sea. She is screaming for help, her grip slipping by the second. Finn is nowhere to be found, or perhaps he is running toward them but is just too far away. Who is the only person close enough to save her? Sheila. In a split second of pure, unadulterated maternal instinct, not for Steffy, but for the love of her son, Sheila lunges forward. She grabs Steffy's arm just as she is about to fall to a gruesome death. Sheila, using every ounce of her strength, manages to hoist Steffy up over the ledge to safety. But in doing so, the momentum shifts. The ground crumbles beneath Sheila's feet. And before Steffy can even process what is happening, Sheila plummets backward, falling hundreds of feet down into the roaring ocean below. She vanishes beneath the violent waves, lost at sea. Missing, presumed dead. Wow. Can you even imagine the absolute hysteria this would cause? This would be the ultimate soap opera cliffhanger. If Sheila Carter sacrifices her own life to save Steffy Forrester, it would completely rewrite the psychological dynamic of this entire show. Think about the profound, agonizing psychological trauma Steffy would experience. For years, she has viewed Sheila as a one-dimensional monster, a rabid dog that just needs to be put down. But how do you process the fact that the monster who once put a bullet in your chest is the exact same person who just gave up her life so you could live? It would completely break Steffy's brain. She would be consumed by a toxic mixture of immense relief, horrifying guilt, and a total identity crisis. Would she finally have to admit that Sheila was capable of change? Would she have to look Finn in the eye and tell him that his mother died a hero? And what about Finn? The grief would absolutely destroy him. He has spent years desperately wanting to believe that there was a shred of humanity inside his birth mother. If Sheila dies saving his wife, Finn's controversial belief in her redemption would be entirely validated, but at the ultimate cost. It would create a massive, potentially insurmountable wedge between Finn and Steffy. Finn might secretly resent Steffy, feeling that his mother had to die just to prove her worth to the Forrester family. But you guys know the golden rule of daytime television: if there is no body, there is no death. Sheila Carter surviving a massive fall into the ocean is basically a Tuesday for her. We have seen characters survive helicopter crashes into the Persian Gulf and return with nothing but a slight case of amnesia. If Sheila falls into the Mediterranean, you better believe she is going to wash up on some remote European beach, battered, bruised, but very much alive. However, her disappearance would buy the writers months of incredible storyline material. Steffy would have to live with the ghost of Sheila Carter, forever indebted to her worst enemy. And when Sheila eventually makes her grand, dramatic return to Los Angeles, how could Steffy ever deny her a place in the family? Sheila would hold the ultimate trump card. I saved your life, Steffy. You owe me. It is a masterclass in manipulation, and it is exactly the kind of twisted, brilliant storytelling we crave. I am absolutely losing my mind over this possibility. It perfectly blends the rich, traumatic history of these characters with a fresh, jaw-dropping twist that nobody would see coming. Will Finn's cowardly silence on the airplane lead to the most catastrophic, life-altering event in Monaco? Will Sheila Carter wash away into the sea, only to rise again stronger than ever? I need to know what you guys think about this. Do you think Sheila is actually capable of sacrificing herself for Steffy? Would Steffy ever forgive her? Or would she just be glad the witch is finally gone? Let me know all your thoughts, theories, and frustrations down in the comments below.
What do you guys think about today's drama? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for your daily dose of bold and beautiful news. See you in the next video.